Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, we step into the world of bronze, rarity, and unbelievable value as we uncover the astonishing tale of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence from the year 2001. What seems like an ordinary piece of currency becomes, through history, design, mystery, and collector obsession, one of the most shocking treasures ever found. So sit back, relax, and let this remarkable coin take you on a journey you'll never forget. Imagine holding a small bronze disc in the palm of your hand, light, warm, and seemingly simple. That is the essence of the 2001 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin. Millions of people in the United Kingdom walk past these coins every day, use them to buy sweets, newspapers, and bus tickets, and never once imagined that hidden among the ordinary were pieces of extraordinary worth. But as coin collectors know, true value often hides in plain sight. All it takes is an unusual detail, a flaw, a twist in history, or a stunningly preserved condition to transform a simple coin into a global treasure. And this 2001 2 pence does precisely that. Let us begin with the world in 2001, a year marked by dramatic global change, technological growth, and shifting economies. In the United Kingdom, the Royal Mint continued the long-standing tradition of producing brilliant, consistent, and reliable coins for everyday use. By this time, the 2 pence coin had already undergone over 3 decades of evolution since its introduction in 1971 during decimalization. For many, the 2 pence was the least exciting of all denominations, small, bronze, and basic. But what collectors love most about such coins is that they become perfect candidates for rare anomalies. When something so common suddenly becomes unique, collectors go wild. The 2001 2 pence coin carries enormous history on its surface. On the obverse, we find the elegant and confident portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by the talented sculptor Ian Rank Broadley. His depiction is known for its realism, sculptural depth, and mature representation of the Queen. Unlike earlier portraits that softened facial details, Rank Broadley's work embraces authenticity. He offered a portrait that felt alive, a monarch with presence, wisdom, and the grace that comes from decades of service. This portrait alone contributes character to the 2001 2 pence, marking it as part of an era defined by detailed artistry. Turn the coin over and you find the iconic badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers, tied together by a coronet, with the Latin motto, Ich Dien, proudly displayed beneath. This design, created by Christopher Ironside, is not merely decorative. It holds deep historical meaning. The crest dates back centuries, representing the heritage of the royal family, the legacy of the Welsh Principality, and the timeless symbolism of loyalty and honor. To hold the coin is to hold a whisper of royal tradition, compressed into a tiny metal circle. The metal itself is another part of the story. Before 1992, 2 pence coins were made of bronze, giving them a distinct warm brown color. After that year, due to rising metal costs, the Royal Mint switched to copper-plated steel. But throughout circulation, older bronze coins and newer steel coins often mix together, creating fascinating variations in tone, weight, and magnetic properties. The 2001 coins are copper-plated steel, yet some early test strikes and rare error batches exist in bronze, creating immense collector demand. These mismatched metal pieces are among the most sought-after modern UK errors. Now let's look at why the 2001 2 pence coin has become so unbelievably valuable in the world of collectors. At first glance, nothing about its year suggests rarity. The Royal Mint produced millions of these coins. They circulated widely. They were used by practically everyone. But the magic lies in the details: unexpected mistakes during minting, unusual variations in die alignment, and extremely rare preservation conditions. A small number of coins struck in 2001 display anomalies that only appear under careful magnification. These tiny variations, invisible to the general public, have become gold mines, bronze mines, within the collector community. Some coins show doubled lettering on the phrase 2 pence, caused by slight die shifts. Others display a misaligned portrait, where Queen Elizabeth II's image sits subtly off-center. A few even contain incomplete strikes, where parts of the motto fade or blur. And then, of course, there are the once-in-a-lifetime examples struck on leftover bronze planchets from earlier decades. Any one of these features would be enough to elevate value. But the combination of rarity, condition, and collector obsession makes the 2001 2p a legend. One of the most fascinating aspects of collecting is the emotional connection people form with coins. Many collectors first encountered the 2001 2p in childhood, perhaps lost at the bottom of a school bag, exchanged for sweets at a corner shop, or jingling in a parent's car. To imagine that something so ordinary could one day hold enormous worth adds a magical layer to the story. It reminds us that value is not always about gold and diamonds. Sometimes, it is about history, nostalgia, and serendipity. Ultra-rare coins history has spent countless hours studying collector markets, auction results, private sales, and rare coin trends to understand the true value of coins like this one. Over the years, the demand for rare and unexpected modern British coins has skyrocketed. Collectors around the world now compete fiercely for unique 2p pieces. In some cases, bidding wars have erupted between passionate buyers determined to claim one of these elusive treasures. Top 2. We dive deep into the story of this unassuming yet incredibly valuable coin, exploring everything from its origins to the astonishing figure it commands today. The year 1999 was a time of transition, optimism, and rapid modernization. As the world prepared to enter a new millennium, many nations were upgrading their currency, boosting production efficiency, and ensuring national symbols remained both respected and relevant. In the United Kingdom, the Royal Mint continued its long tradition of minting coins bearing the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II. Her portrait had already adorned coins for decades, symbolizing stability across generations. Yet, the 1999 2p coin, struck in copper-plated steel, was destined to become more than just another decimal coin moving from pocket to pocket. It would eventually become a star in the world of numismatics, known for its rarity, its beauty, and the mysterious circumstances that made it so valuable. To understand the importance of the 1999 2p, one must appreciate the broader narrative of British decimal coinage. The 2p coin was introduced in 1971 during the UK's decimalisation, the monumental shift from the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence to the simpler 100p structure. The 2p coin, often referred to as the 2p, became one of the most commonly used denominations in the new system. For decades, it served everyday transactions, from vending machines to newspaper stands. But like all coins, its design evolved through the years, and the materials used changed based on economic conditions. By 1992, an important shift occurred. The Royal Mint changed the composition of the 1 and 2p coins from bronze to copper-plated steel. This decision was driven by rising copper prices, making bronze production increasingly costly. The new copper-plated steel coins retained the same visual appearance, bright, shiny, and reddish, but internally, they were magnetic, unlike the earlier bronze versions. This would later play a role in identifying rare variations and minting errors. Now, stepping into 1999, the United Kingdom was still using the Royal Mint's third definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by sculptor Raphael Maklauf. This portrait, introduced in 1985, depicted the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, an ornate crown worn on ceremonial occasions, especially during the state opening of Parliament. The diadem features hundreds of diamonds and has become one of the most recognizable symbols associated with Elizabeth II's long reign. Coins bearing this portrait exude elegance, dignity, and timelessness, and the 1999 2p is no exception. The reverse side, designed by Christopher Ironside, features the badge of the Prince of Wales, 3 ostrich feathers radiating from a coronet, accompanied by the motto, Ich dien, meaning, I serve. This emblem has a deep-rooted history in the British monarchy, tracing back to medieval times and symbolizing loyalty, nobility, and duty. For decades, this design represented the 2p coin until the redesign of UK denominations in 2008. For collectors, This design offers a connection to an era that has now passed, making older coins like the 1999 issue even more compelling. But what makes the 1999 2-pence coin truly fascinating isn't just its design or its symbolism. It's the astonishing rarity and the intense collector interest it has garnered over the years. While millions of 2-pence coins were minted throughout the 1990s, the 1999 issue stands out for several reasons. First, the exact mintage numbers for 1999 business strike 2-pence coins remain unclear, and numismatists believe that far fewer were produced compared to surrounding years. Some have suggested that production for circulation was limited, as demand from banks was low, leading to fewer coins being released. Others believe a portion of the 1999 2-pence coins were minted primarily for collector sets, leaving even fewer to enter circulation. Adding to this rarity are the countless minting errors and anomalies reported by collectors. A number of 1999 2-pence coins have been discovered with off-center strikes, double die errors, and unusual misalignments, all of which dramatically boost their value. But the most astonishing examples are those struck using the old bronze planchets by accident, rather than the new copper-plated steel blanks. Because bronze coins were phased out earlier in the decade, any post-1992 date struck on a bronze planchet is extraordinarily rare. Collectors who find such examples can expect them to sell for astonishing figures at auction point. One of the biggest reasons the 1999 2-pence is so valuable today lies in its status within the collector community. As interest in rare UK coins skyrocketed during the early 2020s and beyond, many enthusiasts began searching their old coin jars and pocket change, discovering the thrill of numismatic treasure hunting. Social media, online marketplaces, and collector forums amplified this excitement. Suddenly, coins that were once overlooked became the subject of intense fascination. The 1999 2-pence emerged as one of the most sought-after coins from the decade, partly because of its scarcity, partly because of its attractive design, and partly because of the increasing mystique surrounding it. Collectors often speak about the perfect storm that elevates a coin from ordinary to legendary: rarity, beauty, condition, historical significance, and collector demand. The 1999 2-pence checks all these boxes. While many coins from the late 1990s are still discovered in circulation today in worn condition, finding a 1999 2-pence in uncirculated or near uncirculated condition is extremely uncommon. Coins preserved in mint sets or proof sets have survived better, but even those examples command remarkable prices due to overwhelming demand. Over the years, remarkable sales have been recorded, surprising both seasoned numismatists and newcomers alike. Examples in pristine condition have sold for thousands, tens of thousands, or even more depending on special characteristics. Era coins, particularly the bronze planchet strikes, have fetched extraordinary figures at auction due to their rarity. But among all these, a handful of collectors hold the belief that the 1999 2-pence is on the same trajectory as other once common coins that eventually achieved legendary status. There is also a strong emotional connection collectors have with coins from the late 20th century. These are coins people grew up with, coins that evoke memories of childhood, family, travel, and everyday life in the UK. When nostalgia meets rarity, the result is an explosive combination that fuels collector passion. And this passion is one of the driving forces behind the coin's skyrocketing value. In addition to nostalgia and rarity, the craftsmanship of the coin's design plays a significant role. Raphael Maklauf's effigy of Elizabeth II is widely regarded as one of the most elegant portraits ever used on British coinage, capturing both grace and regality. Christopher Ironside's reverse design, with its heraldic symbolism and bold visual presence, adds depth and meaning. Top 3. Today, we uncover the unbelievable journey of a coin that is often overlooked in everyday life, yet in its rarest form, becomes one of the most coveted treasures ever to emerge from the Royal Mint. So sit back, relax, and prepare yourself, because the story behind the 2007 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin is far more fascinating than most collectors ever imagine. The 2007 2-pence coin comes from a year that may appear ordinary at first glance. It was a time when the world was rapidly advancing in technology, when economic tensions were brewing, and when coinage, especially copper-plated steel coins, was being mass-produced to keep up with the needs of a fast-moving society. Yet this tiny 2p coin carries a legacy shaped by tradition, design evolution, minting anomalies, and collector obsession. Many people who have handled a 2007 2p coin would never suspect that a few rare variants have skyrocketed in value, turning this small copper coin into something worthy of international headlines. To understand why the 2007 2 pence is so special, we must first step back into the world of British coinage and follow the footsteps of Queen Elizabeth II's long and iconic reign. The portrait featured on the coin is the fourth official effigy of the Queen, sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley, whose initials, IRB, rest subtly beneath the neck. This portrait, introduced in 1998, was known for its realism and mature representation of the monarch. Rank Broadley intended to portray Elizabeth II as she truly appeared at the time, without excessive smoothing or artistic alteration, and that honesty resonated strongly across the Commonwealth. On the 2007 2 pence coin, this portrait plays a central role, not only in design but also in determining authenticity, rarity, and even possible minting errors that make certain coins incredibly valuable. The reverse side of the coin features the iconic badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers surrounded by a coronet, with a ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This design had graced the 2p since decimalization in 1971 and remained untouched until the large redesign in 2008. That makes the 2007 issue one of the last years to feature the classic, beloved reverse before the royal shield design replaced it. And among collectors, lasts are just as important as first, making this particular year historically important even before rarity enters the picture. Minting conditions in 2007 were more complicated than many people realize. Although technology had improved dramatically, mass production still carried risks of minor anomalies and errors slipping through the system. It is these tiny imperfections, barely noticeable to the untrained eye, that sometimes transform an ordinary coin into something worth a fortune. And indeed, some extraordinarily rare 2007 2 pence coins have emerged with either die rotations, misstrikes, incorrect planchets, or composition inconsistencies. These rare mistakes are not just curiosities, they are treasures. Treasures that wealthy collectors chase, bid on, and hold with extreme pride. The Royal Mint produced millions of standard 2007 2p coins, so most people would assume that none could possibly be rare. Yet the world of coin collecting teaches us a powerful lesson: rarity does not always depend on total mintage. Sometimes, a few dozen, or even a few individual coins, can escape the mint with a unique identity. And this is exactly what happened with certain 2007 2 pence coins. Their uniqueness lies in specific minting characteristics that appeared only briefly, unnoticed by mint workers, unnoticed by most collectors, and unnoticed by everyone until years later when numismatists finally uncovered the truth. These rare coins instantly became legends within the coin community. Collectors began to hunt down 2007 2 pence coins after whispers spread of unusual variants surfacing in circulation. Some coins displayed an unexpected metal tone. Others showed striking irregularities. A few possessed double-struck features or off-center impressions. And some were struck on the wrong planchet altogether. When even a single example of such a coin appears, the entire market responds. Prices rise. Auctions surge. Collectors become eager, competitive, even emotional, because owning a rarity from the Elizabeth II decimal era is a crown jewel in any collection. As we journey deeper into the story, imagine holding this tiny 2p coin between your fingers. At first, it feels like nothing more than a common object. A metallic disc that millions of hands have touched over many years. But when you examine certain 2007 rarities closely, the truth reveals itself. These coins are not just currency. They are survivors of a minting moment that can never be replicated. They are historical anomalies, frozen forever in time. The year 2007 was also a transitional period for British coinage. The Royal Mint was preparing for the complete redesign that would launch in 2008, featuring the new Royal Shield of Arms. Because of this, Production runs during this time underwent adjustments, test strikes, equipment calibrations, and process refinements. Whenever machinery is adjusted, the possibility of unusual outputs increases. This is why the 2007 series, especially the 2 pence denomination, became a magnet for minting errors. It was a year of preparation, experimentation, and change, making it fertile ground for unexpected coin variations. Collectors today look back at 2007 as one of the most intriguing years for modern UK pennies and 2 pence pieces. The year is a hotspot for rare variants. And among them, the Elizabeth II 2 pence holds a special status due to the combination of transitional circumstances, production shifts, and the closing chapter of the classic reverse design. Each of these factors contributes to its extraordinary desirability. Another reason collectors cherish the 2007 2 pence coin is the Queen's portrait itself. By this point in her reign, Elizabeth II had already become the longest-serving monarch since Queen Victoria, and her image on coinage was a global symbol of consistency, stability, and tradition. The Albee portrait captures her in a dignified, confident manner, and over time this representation has become iconic. Coins featuring this portrait, especially from the later years before the designs changed, have gained increasing attention from collectors who seek to preserve a part of royal history that will never be minted again. The metal composition of the coin is another fascinating detail. In 1992, the Royal Mint switched from bronze to copper-plated steel for its low-value coins, including the 2p. This change meant that many coins from later years respond to magnets, a detail that sometimes plays a crucial role in identifying unusual variants. Some rare 2007 2 pence coins were reportedly struck on leftover bronze planchets, a possibility that electrifies collectors. A bronze 2p from 2007 instantly becomes a rarity of monumental value. And it is exactly these anomalies, whether due to planchet mix-ups or die errors, that have elevated certain 2007 coins to unbelievable price levels in the global market. As collectors hunted these special pieces, marketplaces around the world saw surprising listings. A few 2007 2 pence coins achieved astonishing prices at private auctions, shocking even seasoned numismatists. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned here on Ultra Rare Coins History for more unbelievable discoveries from the world of rare coin treasures.